Can you tell us about yourself, about your background and your current position right now?
I'm serial entrepreneur, again, like over 30, whatever, 5 years now of business experience. Started plenty of companies, like majority of them in Germany, basically. I sold my business 2007. Moved to Bali 2008. Now economically or like entrepreneurially active in Bali. Doing like I started as with a hotel business, run like biggest Airbnb villa network, and like was one of the biggest Booking.com partners on the island, and so on and so on. As I say, I started as a hotelier, built my own hotels and villas and so on, and just kind of like after a while, just like because I love the design and the creative part of kind of like building something from nothing, like make something beautiful where before it was just some dirt or something. I just basically morphed into development business more and more. Right now, I think we are the biggest developer in Bali, and this is not just like many people say call themselves biggest developers. We probably are. So at least like our projects you can visit and walk upon, yeah. So and not just like they exist somewhere in the metaverse or something. As I say, like we are biggest developers. At the same time, we are like not stuck up or not too. We're not taking this too serious. It should make fun. It makes fun. We have a really cool, amazing team, as I say, like, and we are just like playing around, having fun, doing good business at the same time, and is basically in serving like thousands of people every day. Perfect combination between, or perfect balance between having fun and having making good business, and as I say, like, and collecting friends among the way. Yeah, so.
Yes, definitely. Guys, we are now talking about PARQ Development, and we all can see the passion insert in this project, and how fun and balance and nature and really good class and design are combined together. And it's really interesting to hear what is the story behind the creation of this PARQ Development project.
The idea of PARQ was born as a long-term. So basically, Airbnb business or even hotel business don't scale till infinity. Yeah. So basically, there's a natural limit, God-given maybe, or economical or logistic limits to a size of basically hospitality project. Airbnb villas, I could not scale up beyond maybe 120 villas. Hotels usually scale very badly above 100 rooms and so on. So like as I was building bigger and bigger hotels or resorts. Came up with the idea that basically if we reduce the amount of basically check-in and check-outs to the smallest amount as possible, then this such a project could have, if needed, 1,000 villas in one spot. Yeah. So the idea basically came how to scale real estate to like what model will make it possible to scale real estate to really huge project sizes. So that's so basically the idea of co-living was born. Co-living, that means like we do not address basically short-term rentals. Yeah, we try to optimize for long-term use, and so still our numbers are very good because we have like 100% occupation rate. So, and then because we have so many amenities on site, so we can achieve very comparable rates to short-term accommodation projects. Yeah, we have basically the same profitability from a, let's say, a hotel or Airbnb business, but with 100% occupation rates. Yeah, so that's kind of like the summary. Yeah, and we can scale it at, as I say, nearly infinity. Yeah, so basically, as I say, like we optimize for 100% occupation rates. That's one. Then because we have such a strong demand for this high quality accommodation, we don't have any marketing spending. Like, so basically there's usually any hotel or Airbnb or like short-term rentals require 30% on average marketing spend. That 30% gross. Yeah, so that's crazy. Management fees, like because we don't have marketing, so our management fees are like around 10% on average, and so on. Like we can compete, or we can outcompete majority of projects which will try to play short-term rental card. Yeah, so we will outcompete them in economic terms, basically.
PARQ Ubud, your first and very successful project that created this name. What is PARQ Ubud for you right now, and how do you see where it's developing? Again,
PARQ Ubud was kind of like proof of concept. Yeah, we used our own money. We invested basically, like I think we majority owner of all real estate here. Maybe 70-80% of all real estate is owned by founding fathers. This was basically proof of concept, then test ground for different kind of like formulas. What is the ratio between public spaces versus accommodation? What kind of facilities people really need, or what kind of facilities people think they need, but then later do not use. I believe the first long-term co-living project in Asia, if not worldwide. Right now, like many universities will list PARQ Ubud as one of the leading co-living projects in the world. As a case study, actually, like Skolkovo, but I did see several universities in Jakarta and so on in US listing, like we are in the top 3 like of co-living projects worldwide. No, the idea is basically like for us, it was a real life study. At the beginning, it's just an intellectual construct. Yeah? So it's a thesis. Yeah. So and how this thesis will function in real life. So that's the thing.
It's incredible how you just created what was in your head in the physical reality. It's just incredible. And every time I come here, I see the new rooms are under the construction. Something new is happening all the time. It's developing and growing. Just recently, you've set a bunch of solar panels. Is it correct? Why did you do that?
Firstly, again, any project is like kind of a living organism. It needs to change, it needs to adapt, and need to progress, evolve. Whenever something stops evolving, it's starting to die. Lose momentum. Yeah, so like you need to move. Yeah, so that's first. I mean, solar batteries. It was just a small, exactly like kind of a research project. So we're trying here the installation, how it will work, and so on. So for the next projects, we can more easy implement this, and we will have real life data and not just a theoretical kind of like data from some books. If I see this as a little project, it's a little side project for us. It's in the same time the biggest solar installation in Bali. Yeah, so it's 1 megawatt around. As I say, we wanted to collect real life experience and real life data, and also like even produce a precedent for all further installations. Right now, many other projects like independent from us, like coming to us and ask us, could you install for solar panels at our project as well? Yeah, because like it haven't been tried before on a commercial scale in Bali.
Does it meet the PARQ Ubud needs? Does it cover the PARQ Ubud needs?
At the moment, we will be even oversupplied. Okay. So, but let's say within maybe the next 3-4 months, it will be kind of matching our daily needs.
Do you plan to install the solar panels at the other projects?
Maybe 2 times smaller installations already ongoing in PARQ Family.
Talking about PARQ Family, and what are the other projects that are ongoing right now under the PARQ Development?
PARQ Family is the closest project to finish. Yeah, we started around maybe 9-10 months ago. It's supposed to be like in ideal world, it will be optimized for families with kids. The villas are bigger. There's a lot more greenery. It's built into a forest, so you have like 20-30 meter high trees around. It should be optimized for family use, and we built this PARQ Family like into an area where there are like plenty of international schools, and kindergartens. So it's literally in walking distance. There will be 3 biggest school in Ubud will be in walking distance from PARQ Family. Still, like it will be a big project, it's relatively big, maybe 6-7 hectares. It will have lots of own infrastructure, own like kind of like spa, sauna, big gym, which will not be kind of like copying what we built here. Own design language. It will have own kind of like architecture, distinctive architecture, different design language, as I say. It will address a different crowd because it's a different part of Ubud. As I say, it will cater to needs of a different demographics.
So it's a community-based project, basically.
Clearly. But there the communities will be much more family-centered. It will be more English-speaking community because this general area is just populated by a lot more English-speaking expats. So this is a different project. It will by design actually just different location always will bring different community together,
For sure.
And being again now centered around kids and family, so it will give a total different vibe. Because PARQ Ubud, the original location or original project, become kind of like this entrepreneurial startup. It will be already different, as I say.
Talking about style of architecture in PARQ Family, is it same as in the PARQ Ubud, or the concept is different?
Every location will be different. So basically, PARQ Family is a rather colonial, tropical architecture. Kind of it has a lot of citations from colonial, maybe 100, 150 year ago styles. It's a very rich treasure full of beautiful elements, and if you use them right, so it will look amazing.
Another huge project that is happening in Uluwatu in Bukit, right?
Yes.
PARQ Blue. Can you elaborate about this project a bit? What is the concept, and as well, what is the style?
The idea, as we choose location for Blue, it's very undeveloped stretch of land there, but in the same time, on every side, basically maybe 80% of all 5-star resorts in Bali are located exactly there. So we have 2-3 kilometers to the left or 2-3 kilometers to the right at the same coast, at the same cliff where we are located.
Very expensive hotels.
Yeah, exactly. Bulgari, Alila, Kempinski, whatever, the Mulia, every expensive hotel is just exactly built on this coast. Hotels are usually built like prisons. They want that you stay there, so that you come, that you check in, they stay there, you spend your money there, and you don't go outside. So for them, it was very favorable. But for a normal, long-term for expats, that's not a good infrastructure because it's not publicly accessible. So imagine many hotels will not allow that you even visit the grounds if you're not staying there.
That's true.
So or using swimming pools. So we are kind of we are the open concept. We say, okay, if you are a neighbor, please still come and use our grounds. You need to go for jogging, so here's the track. So you want to go with a baby stroller, please do that. So and so on. You need a coffee, please.
So you're going to create an opportunity for guests of this area just to hang out.
We basically even particularly so the location of PARQ Blue was chosen because we have on just 20 meters away from our entrance is a major tourist destination. That's Melasti, Melasti Beach. So there are over around 1 million people a year visiting this beach. So that's a very good location. It means it's very highly frequented. That's one. Around us are built around 3,000 to 5,000 villas. But this even the people are staying there. They have nowhere to go. So if you're living, if you're renting this villa, you will have the problem where can I drink a cappuccino? Nowhere, 20 kilometers away. So where can I go to a proper gym? So again, very far away, different direction, and so on. Where do I get a haircut? Where can I buy croissants or whatever? So kind of just even the simple things like bakeries and so on and so on. Coffee, this all needs are unmatched and unanswered. So we have always a dual concept. So basically we build infrastructure, we settle enough kind of natural citizens around our infrastructure, but in the same time, because we are open concept, so we always also serve the community around us and create a fan base. So Blue is, I would say, ideally located, and just the demand gives us that we chose the right location. it's kind of like many people love this area, but they cannot settle down because there are no schools, there are no cafes, no co-working, no offices, no nothing. It's so just true. Like raw nature, and everyone will say, oh, I totally will move there if there will be any infrastructure. Yeah, we pioneered, we dared to buy some land there and started. We kind of like, because the area very much mimics Mediterranean, kind of like Italian coast or Sicily or Greece, and so we thought we will take kind of like citation from this kind of like Mediterranean countries, and we will designate some areas of the project and build quarters or like city blocks that will have citation from this Mediterranean countries. So like the first two like city quarters we started with were Greece and Italy. And so basically we prefer their like one floor tropical minimalist architecture with, as I say, citations from their respected kind of countries. Everything will look kind of like harmonious, but in the same time you will see distinct differences between basically if Greece looks like Santorini, Italy will look like something maybe Rimini, the next quarter was France, and so on. Like we're just bringing, as I say, design elements, and furniture is different, and built out differ, and materials we use differ. But in general, the design languages, or the general design language is, let's say, the elevations of the buildings, the roof types are kind of like, they are all harmonious. Our built-up key is, or the built-up ratio is very small, so we are always below 30% of built-ups. So basically 70% gardens, or 73% garden, and 27% is the villas. So as I say, like it should be quite spacious, very green, very tropical, and as I say, like, but at the same time with kind of like with the comfort of good old Europe. The project is very ambitious. We started maybe with something like 5 hectares. Right now it's rather going towards 20 hectares.
20 hectares.
And it will be, I'm very sure it will be much bigger.
Because it's a city. It's a true city.
Clearly, no, but this is, so basically, like, if there was one kind of experience or one important lesson from PARQ Ubud, it's just, again, it's critical mass is everything. The more infrastructure you build, so the more people will be using it, the more attractive your location becomes. So, and the more infrastructure you have, the more citizens can live around you, or even settle next to you. So basically, imagine like maybe in PARQ Ubud we built maybe 300 apartments and villas, so we're building maybe another 100 or 150. But around PARQ Ubud, so there may be right now 300 or 500 different villas built up. So like, or people settling next to us. Every hotel around us is full just because people want to be close to this kind of critical infrastructure. So.
This is what you call a point of attraction, right?
Yes, exactly. So you create a point of interest or point of attraction. So, and this become the most important, or like the thing every developer wants to become is a landmark. And clearly, like in Ubud, we are already a landmark. So right now, if you will see, people will advertise their villas on Facebook or so, they will advertise it with, okay, it's 2 kilometers from PARQ Ubud, so like basically, so the people will give distance already to the points of interest. So nobody cares about Monkey Forest anymore. So people say, okay, 1 kilometer to Palace and 2 kilometers to PARQ Ubud. People will give these two kind of landmarks. So that's cool. Now, and I think in any other location we will achieve the same, because like, again, you need to just invest heavily in infrastructure. And then people will find this useful, and then you become landmark. So that's how it works.
There is another project that calls PARQ Soho in almost the same area. What is this project for? For whom this project is created?
PARQ Blue is basically, Soho is a second part, as like a different part of of blue. If blue is rather for high-end villas and more bigger budget kind of like accommodation, like high budget accommodation, so the villas will cost, let's say, between 5 and I don't know, maybe $15,000 or $20,000 rent a month. Yeah, so then Soho should be like kind of for more affordable. There, let's say the rents will start maybe from $900 to till $3,000 or something like. So that's just the second half of the business. Yeah. So if we build maybe 150 villas at this high price range, yeah. So that's it's located rather to the, let's say, south end of this, so in the north west, and there will be like kind of like this more studenty, surfer, kind of like maybe freelancer and so on, digital nomad town.
Chill lifestyle.
And it needs to be by design cheaper. It needs to be by design, again, built differently, built more for communal life, so you understand there are like big difference between, let's say, middle-aged businessman coming with his whatever wife and kids and wanting and expecting to have a quiet luxury kind of like month in the tropics, that's one lifestyle, and they don't want to have like again co-working, they don't want to have I don't know, this buzz and you know, like party scene or whatever, like they don't need to have a beer pub there or like, I don't know, karaoke bar for that matter, so like, but in Soho part, like if majority of the people are singles or young couples without kids, so they expect just different lifestyle, and because the stretch of our city is around right now 3 kilometers or something, so so this part can be more luxury and upscale. It's usually the hillside, and the valley side is basically it's more downtown where the young people can meet for a beer or whatever.
There is a choice for every taste, basically.
Every city is built like this. If you go to Paris, you will have like again some parts of it with that more upscale, and some parts are more affordable. Like it's different kind of a budget layers. To one demographic, it will be too monochrome or whatever, too homogeneous, and this might be too boring, too stale.
I can see that your projects are basically created for different demographic, different target audience. For example, PARQ Citadel, what is that? In
general, you cannot copy-paste businesses, so you cannot copy-paste development. If you will address always the same customer group, you will run out maybe of customers. It will make none of your projects will be special. It's just another same old. The idea is every time, so basically you need to start a project with a question of who will live there, who will be the customers, who needs this, So if you start this with this question, was now suddenly like the concept part or whatever, the general idea becomes more clearly visible. Citadel, in general, the project came like how the general idea crystallized itself by the topography of the project. A very good friend of mine came to me and was saying like, he found a hill, 5-hectare hillside. It's all elevated, it's all flat, and but it's like, again, it's all up the cliff, and you have, I don't know, 10, 15 meter.
Like a castle.
It's exactly, it's like a rock, it's a rock, elevated rock, so like, and nobody, so like this project, as this piece of land was many years on the market, but nobody could understand what could they do with this rock. He showed this plot to me, I was saying like, obviously it's a castle, so if this is a castle, then the name Citadel was just basically the best name out there. And then why did people build castles? Then because kind of like security was big question in medieval times, Very often, if foreigners moving to Asia, even for a year or like for a more extended period of time, so they will ask themselves, is it safe? Because people don't know. I mean, Bali is in general very safe. I mean, there's no robberies or whatever, like no petty crime and so on. It's again very fairly safe island and country. People still have this in their mind, like the safety is a very big concern. Like that's why we're installing doors and locks on our houses and apartments, because safety. Here the topography was saying, okay, castle will make sense. If this is a castle, we will make an exclamation mark on the point security. Yeah, security. That will be hyper secure. We will make biometric access. So if you have their house, it's impossible to just walk in. It's kind of maybe also the antithesis to PARQ Blue. PARQ Blue is open. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Citadel is a closed city. It's insiders only, citizen only. Yeah, so you cannot just walk into this part. Guarded, it's just a closed city. It's a gated community in a classical sense of the term. Yeah, gated community means like you come to the entrance gate and someone will ask you like, do you live here? Do you have an invitation? Your identity, please, and so on. You need to be in visitors log and so on, and you need to show your credentials and so on. It's a different niche, and we will serve completely different customers, and these customers are even more wealthy than the customers of, let's say, PARQ Blue. Yeah, mm-hmm. So because for them the security, private security or the security of the property is even more of importance. Yeah,
for sure. The private space and security for some people are just on the first.
Yes, and the view through the elevation, we have a very good view to all sides. We have 360 degrees, basically a perfect view to like we have nearly to any direction, ocean side and so on.
Yeah, we are excited to see this project.
I'm also excited. So we start somewhere in January. We'll start with the January. So with the construction, I'm really like also looking forward to see basically the staking out of the different plots and so on. And I want to walk the elevations.
Andre, what is your view on the real estate industry in Bali in general in 2024?
In the last 15 years, I did see only the upside. Yeah, so even Corona was not a big problem for the real estate market in Bali. I will say like Indonesia will grow, Asia will grow, because like I believe the next 10-20 years, Southeast Asia will be the center of the economic growth of this planet. Indonesia is very strong country, very young country. It's the only country like that will repeat or is able to repeat the Chinese growth, kind of like.
You do think so?
Yeah, 100%. So it's basically the only country with 300 million population, good education level, like kind of like without big kind of like political risks. So basically, it's democratic, young country, and basically like the starting the level where it starts from is fairly low. Yeah. So it's literally today the average salary in Indonesia is the average salary in China, but 20 years ago. For many people, unknown phenomena ongoing that Chinese companies are relocating from China to Indonesia. So basically, plenty of production facilities are being moved from, as I say, even Vietnam becomes super expensive and so on. So basically, it's kind of like Indonesia is the next logical point for this globalization movement, where so in search for cheaper labor, and Indonesia is the only country that is big enough that could swallow this kind of like demand. It will give globalization another 10-20 years of life.
So summarizing, Indonesian market and Bali in particular is safe and stable to invest.
Bali, even if you will say Indonesia as a country, as a as a big economic kind of like superpower, like as I say, Bali will be the island of the happy and the rich. Not many people maybe know. So Singapore was once a part of Malaysia. Yeah. So and then because they were so much more prosperous than Malaysia, at some point they were saying like, just guys, like we become independent. Yeah. Bali is literally the Singapore of Indonesia. Yeah. So basically. Something 95% of all taxation, the tourist dollars, and that's plenty of dollars. It's like, I don't know, $18-20 billion of tourist spending is happening in Bali only, and it's 95% of all Indonesia, is being spent here. So basically, incredible. Bali is an amazingly kind of like happy place. Bali is the Singapore of Indonesia, and basically it's the prime location to invest. Unprecedented demand. It's the only place in real estate which that I found that will be basically kind of like their demand will outspace their offer. Imagine you will have a magic ability to build right now 5,000 villas. Just in PARQ Ubud here.
They're gonna be filled, right?
They will be filled, like there will be, let's say, 2-3 months, whatever. Like there will be, like again, maybe 500 villas we will rent out in a month. Yeah, so like, but maybe in 6 months we could rent out 5,000 villas. That will be not a problem. So there's more demand than there are villas. Yeah, and crazy amount of people right now staying in really bad villas. Yeah, so because the villas quality on average in Bali is quite low. Yeah. So the building standards are quite low. So whenever we're building something, people will move same second. Like, so we have waiting lines for anything what is even unfinished. We have waiting lines.
What are the plans of PARQ Development for upcoming year?
First and uttermost, like each location we're already building, we try to extend and to make it better, to make it bigger and greater. Every existing location basically need to be made better. That's one, making better. And there will be never stop. Like 10 years from now, I will tell the same story. Like if I can improve PARQ Ubud, that will be great. If I can improve PARQ Family and so on. And every location we already have, we will try just to extend or our quality of service, the amount of services, and kind of like that's priority. Right now we have 2-3 big kind of like projects. This is like, again, as I say, as you mentioned, PARQ Blue, Citadel and Ocean City. This is the 3 kind of like our main points for the 2024. Yeah, so we are looking for one location in somewhere up in the mountains. I would love to make like a kind of a mountain resort, something like with fireplaces and so on. And yeah, no, in 2,000 meter up and from the sea level, so where you have really like 10 degrees in the morning or whatever, where you have every morning fog and so on. Massive forests, like big forest areas in, let's say, Bidugul area or Kintamani area and so on. So basically, like this may be one more location which I will do. Yeah. Then we have plans to maybe do something on some island around, like something like Lembongan. Yeah. So Lembongan, doing something like Maldives style of like beachfront resort. If I say Maldives style, we need to do it better. We need to come up with our own original idea and recipe and so on. I would like to go kind of like into the cold climate and totally like beach, like white sandy beaches.
Two opposite things.
Yeah, no, because this will be just completing their kind of their product palette. Yeah, so like this will be good. For 2024, we planning to go to Italy, Spain, and Portugal. So kind of like this, we're exploring right now. Yeah, the kind of like regulatory sides and kind of like subsidies and like acquisition targets and so on and so on. So we're looking basically into Europe, yeah, but South Europe.
Can you name top 5 advantages why it's better to invest in Bali comparing to well-known Turkey or Dubai?
Firstly, democracy, like again, no political stability, then currency stability. Yeah, so again, Turkey did have like probably 80-90% inflation rate over the last year or so. So this is no fun, you know. So imagine you were buying an apartment worth $100,000, like again 5 years ago. Now it's worth $20,000. It's not a good market. Thailand has very often, I don't know, 10-15% inflation rate over a year span. So why would I buy something there? Indonesian rupiah is very stable. Yeah, so like on average we have like maybe 4-5% inflation rate. I have no problem even to keep our company activas in rupiah. It was more stable than US dollar during Corona times for 2-3 years. Rupiah actually up. Not depreciated but appreciated and so on. So as I say, it's a good so economic stability. Then as I say, economic growth, kind of demographic growth or demographic size. For me, like there might be 100 reasons speaking for Indonesia versus other countries. Every businessman goes with a gut feeling, yeah? So like basically you have your feeling. My feeling was I see the quality of life here is very high. This was the same case like 15 years ago. Imagine like every dollar you have is maybe worth $10 here, and it's worth maybe 90 cents or 50 cents somewhere in Paris or London, you know. So it's kind of like, so the money is not much worth back in developed countries because there's plenty of money. So here is less money, so the money is worth more. Yeah, so like you can live a lifestyle for $3,000-4,000 a month. You could have a lifestyle that you could not live, not afford having 40,000 back in Germany. Like I can guarantee you. Okay, that's one. Like basically your money is worth more. That's a good, like one of the main aspects. Quality of life is super high because of that. Yeah. And particularly for real estate, if we're speaking about real estate investment, then again, really even an average real estate investment will yield you, let's say, 10, 12%, 15%. And I'm speaking about long-term rental kind of like income levels. Yeah. So short-term rental, you could achieve 20, 30% if you push it. Yeah. So like it takes some personal maybe involvement and so on. And optimization, but again, I don't know other market in the world, so that will offer comparable like kind of like income levels, So basically, an average real estate in Germany yield you 3%, in America same 3 to 5, and so on. So Thailand same again. I believe that income levels in many countries is negative for real estate. It's like Dubai, I believe it's negative. If you're buying new real estate and paying $10,000 a square meter, so you will have, let's say, 2% rental income, but maybe the dollar inflation ratio is higher than the other 2%. So it's just basically you lying to yourself, so in Bali, no, as I say, like for me, and for many people I know, like Bali real estate market was the perfect place to invest, and even for first-time investors, it's a good market, as I say, like because the market, as I say, is driven by demand and not by economic stimulus. Imagine like Bali market is very funny for real estate investment because there's no leverage. So we have no credit, there's no credit rates. So like nobody will give you a bank loan for real estate. That means like imagine every single piece of real estate in Bali is paid 100%. By people who bought it. So this is already a very good thing. So there cannot be a credit crunch. So there cannot be a kind of like squeeze. Low risk, obviously. So that's why during Corona or like the prices for real estate didn't move anywhere. So the villa which was selling before for 250 was selling later for 250, and during Corona 250, because people were not pushed to sell. So by banks, so because everything is fully paid. So that's even very, very unique aspect of even Indonesia. In Dubai everything is leveraged. In every other country everything is leveraged. And in America everything is leveraged as to crazy ratios. Let's say 5% own money, 95% is leveraged. And so Dubai, say 10% you need to deposit, and then Bali is 100%. Everything is credit free.
Can you give one advice for the investor who is still hesitating in investing in Bali?
Like the main reason for hesitating, is this means you don't understand. You don't understand it fully. So then find more information and So basically find more information for yourself. Like you understand? No, if I tell you let's jump off the bridge, you will ask me how deep is the water. As I said, 10 meters, then we jump. So, but if I will say I don't know, then it's really better not to jump. So basically, whenever we hesitate, it's just this is just an indicator that we don't know enough to to eliminate kind of like deadly risks, So like because every big unknown is maybe might be a big risk which we didn't consider. So basically, whenever that's my own kind of like business rule. Whenever I'm scared to invest somewhere, that means I don't understand. And then, so like you can become certain only after you found enough information and become sure that this is a that's a good idea.